Be Making Basics.
What's going on YouTube? Be Making Basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because we're coming back to back with bangers. This video is going to be for our newbies when it comes to Logic Pro 10. Pretty much I'm going to be covering how to make your first beat in Logic Pro 10, specifically Logic Pro 10.8. Now, if you have any of the other versions of Logic Pro 10, this video will still be useful to you, but there are going to be certain things that you won't be able to do if you don't have the latest version. So let's go ahead and jump in. Now, this is going to be Logic Pro 10.8. If you're brand new, pretty much you can create MIDI tracks. Okay, you got your software instrument, and they got external MIDI track you can do. Well, they also have other MIDI tracks, but it's really a pattern track. Okay, and you can pretty much like tap in your notes or tap in the drum patterns and stuff like that. Here, they got something called a drummer feature, which is less of you tapping in drum sounds and more so manipulating stuff that's already there. And then of course we got audio. Now, if you're brand new to making beats in Logic Pro 10, the first thing I would suggest you do is actually go over here and start on the right side of things here. So either with a MIDI track or a pattern track. What I'm going to do is actually start you off on the pattern track, okay? Because it's real simple to get started with making beats this way. I'm actually going to go over here. We'll go under instrument and click on quick sampler. And then we'll just go in here like so. Now, the reason why I wanted to go with a quick sampler track to start this out is just because I know, like, if you're brand new, one of the first things you want to do is just get like some sounds and throw them into Logic and cook up with stuff that you already know is banging, you know, everything like that, your loops and sounds and everything. And the best way to do that is going to be with the quick sampler. This is the quick sampler. Basically, you just drag and drop sounds right in here, and then you can just go to default preset and then save as, and then you'll start seeing all your sounds come in here, okay? Or you can load them, etc. But I'll demonstrate it here as well. Let's just go to splice, and we can just go to sounds. I can go to all of my stuff here that I have in here. Let's see here, the one shots, and then that should pull up on my like drum sounds. So say if I like this snare or this rim shot, I can just drag and drop it in here like that, and then like I said, save as. We can call it B&B, or we can call it Trap Rim 2000. So now, like, anytime I want to bring this up, you know, I can either start with pattern or MIDI. You know, it doesn't matter. The pattern is just going to be another way to create, you know, your patterns versus MIDI. So, but yeah, I can come over here, go with instrument, quick sampler, and then now when I want to pull that up, just click on that. It's gonna be down here, but I can load it as well and search for it. But so let's just look in here. I think it's called it what, Trap Rim. So it's in the T's, and there you go. So if you're using a MIDI keyboard, obviously you just plug your MIDI keyboard up and start playing. So I have one. It's already here, but I just need to plug it up real quick. But if you don't have a MIDI keyboard, you could use Command K. So push Command K on your computer, and now you can play, you know, your samples and stuff like that with this. All right, cool. So you know how to drag and drop sounds and stuff like that in here using the quick sampler. Let's actually get into some creation tips, okay? So I'll start again here. We'll start with the quick sampler, and I was just gonna start building a beat here. I'm just gonna use this trap clap, and then if you click over here where you see the this pencil, it's like your editor, you're gonna be able to click on step sequencer here, and this is where we'll be able to start our patterns. So as you know, we have our BPM right here. This is our transport, you know, area right here, so you can control where to go in and everything, and your BPM. So let's just move that up some, like 130. Okay, and then you can put this loop on here. You can do a 4-bar loop, 8-bar loop, whatever you want to do. Usually it's good to go ahead and start with like a, you know, 4-bar loop if you're brand new, 8-bar loop if you have a little bit more experience. To start our clap pattern, we're gonna go ahead and just click right here, dead center, And that just is a simple way to get started with your clap pattern. So I can push Command R to double this, and now we have our clap pattern ready to go. All right, now obviously you're gonna need like some hi-hats next. So what you could do here is still go over here with this pattern option, quick sampler, and obviously the same difference here. You could drag and drop your hi-hats and stuff like that in there. Now a little tip here, as you can see, I have some windows open, and it might be a little confusing if you're brand new, but if you just start right here and go all the way over, each of these windows coordinate with different things. So like for instance, this first window is your library. That's where you're gonna see like any sounds that you're trying to use. This second window is very important. This is like your inspector, and this basically will give you a side view of each track as you have it selected. So right here, it just kind of makes it very convenient. You could be editing right here and then turn the track up or down or add an effect or different things like that. So you're always going to make sure that you can, have this inspector window open when you're creating. It can kind of make things easier. This guy's cool. This is a quick help button. If you have this selected, anything you scroll over, it will tell you a little bit about it. This will be good for you. This is our toolbar. A lot of stuff you can do there. Spark controls, mixer. You've already been here. It's our editor. And then over here we have some other cool stuff. This one's probably something that you want to look at. This is Apple Loops. We'll get into that later in the video. Probably drag and drop something over here. And then we also have this option right here where you can come in and drag and drop stuff from your computer. So I can come over here and get stuff off of my computer that way. All right, and this is like a, you know what I'm saying, you can take some notes here and different things like that. So let's go and kind of get right back into everything though. The reason why I went on this tangent, because I was telling you, you want to make sure that you turn on this inspector so you can like kind of easily maneuver here. So got the inspector window open. I can open up that quick sampler like so, and I can drag and drop more sounds in here, or come into my library that already kind of been loaded up here and go there. So I'm gonna go with a hi-hat, and then we'll go over here to the editor, and then this is going to be where we'll start our hi-hat pattern. Now, as you can see here, we have something called these steps right here. You got 16 steps. It goes all the way up to 64 steps. So depending on how detailed you want your hi-hat pattern to be, it would be where you want to do your steps. Now, one cool trick is you can start off with the 16 steps and then up it. So let's check it out. And when I say up it, you can up the steps to make some different variations. Okay, you can just push Command R to get that on there. And then from here, it's really just taking the time to pretty much just drag and drop and then keep on creating, you know what I mean? Again, this is really just the basics. This video is ready for someone who's just getting started here. So we'll cover some more in-depth stuff, in other videos, but this is just pretty much for beginners. But we'll go back over here to the pattern here. We got our hi-hat. And now let's like work on maybe our kick, you know what I mean? You can come over here, drop this in here, and now I can do my kick pattern. So I can take this up to 64, or I can take this up to, like I said, 32 or something like that, and create like a good pattern. Now, when you take the steps up, you're gonna have to make sure that you switch between these two guys right here, basically representing two measures right here in this first one, and this other one represent these other two measures. So you have to like do that. So two, if you look on this, like whatever you do in this 32 steps option, it will affect both of these. So sometimes if you want like a lot of more variation, you go to 64 steps, and then this was bar by bar. So this is measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, measure 4. And the cool thing about this step sequencer is like it has this little white box that goes over it, so you can kind of actually see visually where your next step should be. Cool thing about this is like if you mess up, you can always just unclick it and then just put it where it needs to be. And then we can push Command R to double this over like so. Alright, so look, we got a basic drum pattern. You got your click, kick, clap, and a hi-hat. Now let's go ahead and like work with a sample, because I know that's going to be something like when it comes to your first beat. Like obviously if you want to make something from scratch, you just come here and you go to MIDI, and you can come over here like the default patch and then choose a bunch of sounds and play your stuff. But say if you want to sample something, you know what I mean? This is how you do it, man. This is how I recommend. So we got the quick sampler here. I'll go to MIDI this time instead of the pattern. Let's take this down here. And basically we can go like the splice or anywhere really. It doesn't have to be splice. Matter of fact, we can go to Apple Loops, and then you can go over here and let's see. Let's try hybrid textures. Alright, bet. So now we have like a sample that we want. You just drag and drop it in here. And what you want to do is turn on this follow tempo, and that should lock it in place with your BPM. And so what you can do now is you can lay this down with either your MIDI controller or by pushing Command K and using the musical typing. But I usually like to pitch stuff up or down just to make, a little bit of variety and distinction between what other people might do with the sample. So let's go ahead and push R. We're going to record this. Okay, cool. So now we have the sample laid down. Basically what I'm doing over here, close this, is I'm using like our quantization metric. So you can go over like 1/6, 16, just based on how length of the note. So like this is like really this is like a half note right here, low key. So it just depends on how long the note is, depending on your metric here. So like if this was a 16th note, you go with that, 8th note, 4th quarter note, half note, etc., etc. Anyway, we got this down here, the sample. One of the last things you probably want to do is just go ahead and add some type of 808. So what I'm going to do is just add an 808 now. Now you could do it through the pattern, but I would recommend going ahead and do it as a MIDI track, and it's using your MIDI controller or using musical typing to just lay it down manually. I'm gonna pick one of these 808s here, and first thing you want to do is just make sure that the 808 is in tune. So there's a lot of different ways you do that. I would recommend playing it and just kind of like going up or down on your keyboard just to make sure it's in tune. Now, what you can also do, like after you lay down your pattern, your 808 pattern, my bad, we did that wrong. after you lay down the 808 pattern, you can always come back over here to your kick or whatever and redo these patterns, you know what I'm saying? Just based on whatever, you know, the vibe you got. So let's say if you want to redo this pattern, you could push Command D, and that's going to double whatever you have here, like the instrument sounds and everything, and you can just come over here and redo it. And I like to keep the kick pattern simple. You can kind of follow this if you wanted to. And I would probably keep the pattern like that too. And then pretty much from here, you can just add whatever you want to the beat, you know what I mean? Add or take away or whatever it is. So if you want to add like a snare, you can come to this clap pattern and push Command D. Go ahead and click on your music, on your inspector. Click here and change out the sound. You know, depending on if you have a lot of sound saved in here, you can do it like that, or just go and drag and drop, save as. But now I got, you know, this snare action in here. Alright, and if you want to add some variation, so say like this half, you just have the snare doing something basic. What you could do if you want to add some variation is just highlight this with your loop, click on that, and just go up on just this one. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics, man, of how to, you know, get started making a beat or making beats in Logic Pro 10.8 or whatever, or Logic Pro 10.8. Logic Pro 10.8. Appreciate y'all watching though. Let me know if you like this video in the description, or not in the description, in the comment section below. Leave me your comments or whatever. Again, if you are brand new, I do have a lot of other resources you can access here. Probably one of the best things you could do is actually click on the link in the description. It actually is going to take you to my website, and there's a beat making master bundle that you can get. And literally that beat making master bundle is going to help structure everything for you as far as learning how to make your beats sound professional. Okay, you're going to pretty much get all of the courses that we offer, all of the sound kits, loop kits, drum packs that are all royalty free, stuff that's not on like Splice and stuff like that. This is all like original stuff. And you're also going to get all our mixing templates. So if you're brand new, or even if you're somebody who's been using Logic for a while and you just really need something to just dive into, you don't want to have to look around, you don't want to have to do all this extra stuff, you want to just dive right in, you want to get that Beat Making Master bundle, okay? Also, we do have thousands of videos, or at least 1,000 plus videos here on the channel that you can watch for free. If you have a problem investing in yourself right now, that's cool. Just save up your money and then do it later. But there's no excuse, because we got 1,000 plus videos here on the channel that you could go through as well. You can actually go to the channel and search, and any topic that you pretty much can pull up is probably going to be on the channel. You feel me? So make sure you get subscribed as well. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.